How's it going, YouTube, my Harley-Davidson Street 500 family, and all you fellow newbies out there? This is part 4 of Learning with Eudy. So in this video, we're going to learn to actually go on the bike, pick our feet up, and turn the bike. So before you start, take everything you learned in the first 3 videos, you know, how to start the motorcycle, clutch control, and walking the bike. You should have mastered that by now. Great. Okay, so before you get on the bike, this is your gear lever right here. That controls your gears. Okay, so in most bikes, it's down for first, up half for neutral, then it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in some bikes. There's one that has 6 gears, so for this video, we're going to stay in first gear just because it's easier, but you are going to be using the clutch and that clutch control that you learned in the other video, and we're going to actually work on throttle control at the same time. So if you're ready, we'll get on the bike, and always get on the bike from the left side. Kickstand's on the left, it leans left, it's just easier. You can get on from the right side, but you just look like an ass doing it, so get on the left side. Okay, so everything you learned in the first video. Alright, remember how to start the bike? Key on, your kill switch. Let's see if we can position this camera just a little bit higher. Don't know if that's going to help. Alright, so we're going to start the bike. There we go. Alright, kickstand up. First gear. Okay, we're in first gear. So, remember what you learned with the friction zone. Yeah, you let it out a little bit, the bike walks. Okay, with that, you want to give it a little bit of throttle. See, now the bike wants to go. Okay, so you've gotten comfortable with walking the bike. Alright, you're going to do just about the same thing, only you're going to give it a little bit of throttle while still maintaining the friction zone, and you're going to pick your feet up. But remember, front brake if you need it. Just take your time doing this, because I know it can be scary at first, but once you get the hang of it, picking your feet up is going to be as natural as breathing. So, okay, here we go. So, friction zone, a little bit of throttle, and then pick your feet up. See how easy that is? And we'll stop and we'll try it one more time. Alright, until you get fully comfortable, it's okay to have both feet on the ground. Like, you will get to the point where you can take off with one foot, usually your right, because your rear brake is there, you know, on the peg before you take off, and all you gotta do is lift up your other foot. So, here we go again. Give it a little bit of gas. And there you go, your feet's on. Alright, so since you've done that, let's actually turn the bike. So for right now, just work on big wide turns. So you want to turn your head where you want to go, give it a little bit of counterbalance, so you're standing on the opposite peg, you're still using your friction zone, and you're not really giving it much fuel. Now if you feel like you're about to tip over, give it some gas. And so now that you've turned the bike, you stop the bike. You go ahead, if you have to, put both feet down on the ground. That's fine for now. And just do it again. Practice getting those feet up. See, anything over about 5 miles an hour, well, shoot, 2 miles an hour, you can pretty much pick your feet up. The bike, as long as it has fuel or acceleration going, it wants to stay up. So practice that. Practice doing a couple of straight lines, and if you get real comfortable, you can take your hand off the clutch fully, just giving it a little bit of throttle. Alright, with that said, let's talk about braking, because you're going to need braking. I know this video is going to be a little bit longer than the other ones, only because there's a lot that goes into trying to pick your feet up, go in a straight line, turn. So, braking, that's your rear brake, this is your front brake. This gives you about 70% of your braking power. Yeah, that's all front brake, so, and there's your rear brake. So when you're going in that big wide circle, if you feel like you're going too fast, just tap on the rear brake a little bit. Do not, for the love of God, hit that front brake when you're going around in a circle, because the bike will fall over, because you're cutting all power to the front tire, all the weight goes, you fall, then you had to pick your bike up, and it's embarrassing. And well, if you're in a big empty parking lot, nobody's laughing, but still, it's a kick to the ego there. So, front brake, rear brake. Now, on normal stops, you would use both brakes. So we'll see emergency braking here. See when I hit that front brake, how the front end wants to jump up. So, like I said, around circles, if you're going to be turning, use that feather, just feather that rear brake some, just barely tap it, just give it a little bit of tapping. You're counterbalancing and you're turning. Now if you're doing a big huge circle, it's a little bit easier than doing tight circles, but if you're not comfortable doing that, just get your feet up, you get in a straight line. If you need to turn the bike, if you have to walk it, go ahead, walk it. That is absolutely fine. So practice on that for a little while, picking your feet up. Like I said, use the friction zone, clutch control, friction zone, and a little bit of throttle. Your brakes, like I said, don't use that brake in a turn if you're going slow, because you will drop the bike. Okay, so that's going to be it for right now. So stay tuned for the 5th video. In the 5th video, I will try my best to discuss or explain what counter steering is and counterbalance. Two very important things, two very different things. So stay tuned for the 5th video, and get out there and hit that parking lot and practice, practice, practice. Until later, newbies. Deuces.